Ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. Ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. Ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. Van Diesel is, I tell you, I was surprised when Elisa Jordana dated Van Diesel because I'm gonna let another cat out of the bag. You know, in that movie where he goes skiing down a mountain after he throws out the grenades and then he gets caught? What would you say if that was me in real life and they did make that scene after me in the movie? Because I'm telling you right now, that was me in real life. That's the fact, Jack. Now you can laugh at me, motherfuckers, all you want. So when Vin Diesel, when I found out that he was dating Elisa Jordana, and then I run into Elisa Jordana years later, I was kind of remembering all of this shit. But Van Diesel went back and did the exact stunt. Because without me being the first motherfucker to ski down that mountain, he would have never known how to ski down that fucking mountain. That's what I did in the military. I knew how to ski down mountains. I could slalom down any fucking thing. Put a pair of skis on me. There ain't a goddamn mountain on earth I can't ski down in my fucking mind. If it's doable, I'll do it. And if you remember, after Van Diesel did it, he said, "It's too bad I was not the first." But there was one other guy who's done it before him. And then he should have took the advice and used that Teflon plating to put on his back, because he got snow burn on his fucking back while he was going down there on his back. I was smart enough. I had the Teflon shit on my back. That's why I never had a problem going down there, but he did. And I'm going to tell you, believe me or not, I was the first one to take that fucking mountain. Ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. No, it wasn't snow job. That's for damn sure. I was never in the special forces, technically. I was in a regular unit, and whenever they needed something done or retrieved, they simply would come wake me up if they needed my particular skill set. If they needed, big guys to go take on things that big guys do, they would go get them. If they needed the one guy who was probably never been to the Olympics, that I could outski anybody. Even right now today in my older age, and I tell you right now, I would take on, if you give me like 6 months to work at my leg power, a little better, I would take on any motherfucker going down any fucking mountain right now to this day. Ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. It wasn't until after I got in the military and they needed something done that I said I could do it. That the only thing they had was skis that particular assignment, so I went and fucking did it. And I lived through it and, killed a few people that day and went and retrieved a little item that another country misplaced. And people do that every day in the military now. You'll never hear about it. You'll never hear about it because they call that top secret wet work shit, right? The CIA goes in and, oh, god dang, look, we got a nuclear device over here. This third world country has, we need it back. Okay, if it's wintertime and you need somebody to do that and you can't get there, but you can drop me off with a parachute on top of a mountain that's next to it that's got, a lot of snow on the motherfucker, I can do it. Because I can ski down there. I could literally ram through the fucking front door with all of my force, pull out my guns and shoot everybody in there and go steal whatever the fuck I need, and then haul ass out of there, put my skis back on and ski down the other side of the fucking mountain and get the fuck away. Ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. Like, I've never been scared to jump out of a plane with a parachute at any level. It could be 20,000 feet. It could be 2,000 feet. It could be 500 fucking feet, which if your chute don't open on time, you are fucking dead. I'm going to tell you now. I've been there and done that too. I've done it on assignment. So I'm going to tell you, it's fucking highly dangerous. Ain't nobody going to believe I ever did this shit. You're right. Technically, I went through a little bit of training with the special force thing and all of that. I even went through RIP with the Rangers training and all that. But I had no desire to be in special forces. I had no desire to be on a fucking Ranger squad. I went to another unit instead, and motherfucker, I ended up doing these fucking the stupid shit assignments. Looking back on it, if I had to do it again, I would have been a cook on a fucking boat. I would have been a cook on a boat. It's got to be the best job in the fucking Navy for an enlisted guy. It's got to be the best fucking job. The best job. You work your ass off making food, and then the rest of the time you enjoy the food. Come on. You don't gotta, like, the only part of your life that's being risked is if the ship gets torpedoed or gets, fucking a missile blows it up or something. Outside of that, I mean, it's not like you're the guy out there on the little boat that's, gonna get fucking blown up and sunk, or you're not the guy that's jumping out of the plane, or you're not the guy that is in the conflict there in fucking Iraq that's got to go, building to building. Every step you take, you could blow up. Ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. You got two kinds of people in service. You got big mouth pussies, and then you got guys that got real balls. I'm the guy with the balls. Ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. I've actually been in a submarine before. I've been on an aircraft carrier before. I've been in a fucking plane before. Military planes. I've done a lot of shit. When I was in the military, it was just. But looking back on it, I would rather have never been in the fucking. I would rather be in all the other jobs I explained to you. To be honest with you, ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. That is a true statement too, Wizzy. I come down with an injury and I got out of the service because I felt like the injury held me back too much. I could not perform at a top level, and I'm not going to tell you what that injury was. It's something that really don't affect me these days, but back then it did. And I was approached afterwards to go to work for places like the FBI, or I had a police department that wanted me to go to work there, and I didn't want to do that. And I wanted a real job, so I went to truck driving school, became a truck driver. I was into construction and doing shit, and I've had senators come snatch me off the fucking street and want to go send me somewhere, and I just refused to do it. When I got out of service, I was done with that shit, right? So you are correct in that statement, Wizzy. You are absolutely correct. They will come pester you to death. Ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. There was one time I was in an enemy compound, and if the guy I was with in the compound, you always go in teams of two. You never go in alone. That's fucking Rambo bullshit. Anyway, so if not more than two, but there was every time I went, it was two. So he was able to hotwire this equivalent of a deuce and a half. He got it started. We got a hostage out, and we were able to make it out of there. I killed a lot of fucking people on that assignment. I never thought bad about it. I never bragged about it. I don't give a shit about it. It's just part of the job. But I'm going to tell you, if he hadn't got that deuce and a half fixed, I don't think we'd have made it out alive. We had a window of opportunity if we went in a very bad direction, get the fuck out of that compound. And even if we made it out of the compound, they were probably going to catch us and kill us before we got to a safe location. And we would have had to take turns carrying the fucking hostage. to get her the fuck out of there, which is going to slow us down a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. And you're talking about a 20-mile run you would have to make, and I've actually made a 10-mile run carrying somebody in the past. I couldn't imagine having to get 20 miles to get to safety. Having to carry somebody. So to be able to go out in the direction we needed to get out in, but because we were running behind schedule and the fucking sun came up and we could no longer get out of the compound without being seen, to be able to, for that to take place was another act of God. Like, I'm only here to talk to you today because that guy was able to hotwire that fucking deuce and have to start. I could have done it, but maybe not as quick as he did it pretty quick. I was impressed. And we got the fuck out of there, shooting people on the way out. And we didn't even make the 20 miles for that motherfucker ran out of fuel. We actually had to run the last, I think it was about maybe, it was about a mile, give or take a mile. And we hooked up with the helicopter and got the fuck out of there. And so I've done some crazy shit, man. Ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. Later on in years, I can brag about doing this, not thinking, ain't nobody gonna believe I ever did this shit. I really don't give a fuck what people think. I don't give a fuck what people believe. I don't give a flying fuck.
End of line.